Good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church. Welcome to our self-healing class. Special welcome if you're signing in now on Zoom. I see many of you are, or if you're watching us later on YouTube, Facebook, or any of the platforms. This again is our Thursday evening self-healing class based upon the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise. Louise, most of you know, began her spiritual teaching right here at First Church in New York. Our Thursday classes combine her life-changing tools with the deep metaphysical foundations of religious science. Before we get into tonight's lesson, here's a quick reminder that we offer 3 gatherings a week, 3 gatherings to support your growth and your spiritual practice. Wednesday evenings at 7, Jimmy, our practitioner, hosts and facilitates our creative living gathering. And that's a lively and practical exploration of spiritual principles for modern living. Here we are on Thursdays. This is our second broadcast of the week. And then Sunday mornings at 10:45 starts our meditation. And then after the meditation, we have our main lesson of the week, usually around 11 o'clock or thereabouts. So I want to invite you to each of these groups, any of these groups, all of them. Each one offers something a little bit different, and all of them are designed to lift you up. And those of you who support this work, whether financially or through sharing our content or simply just showing up with an open heart, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, your good wishes. All of you are helping us bring this message of healing, this message of truth forward in the world. We're bringing it to thousands of people every week. So thank you for all that you do. There's never pressure for anybody to donate here. If you're called to support, we're very grateful. There's options in the chat room always. Your presence is the main thing. So let's get into the lesson. Let's start by taking a breath. Maybe you can go into your heart space. And we'll begin tonight's journey together. This evening's class is entitled Return Again to What You Are. This title was inspired by a simple chant that I've known for many years. You've probably heard it in spiritual circles. Some of you might know it. The words go, return again, return again, return to the land of your soul, return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. The first time I heard that chant, it was sung live by someone from my church. It was Donna G. And it stopped me in its tracks because it was really soulful, and maybe it's the way she sang it. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul, return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. It was really wonderful the way she sang it. It was deeply moving. It felt like a message from some inner place that I hadn't visited in a long time. And that's what this class is about. Not fixing, not striving, remembering. You'll recall Louise will say, deep at the center of your being, there's this infinite place of love and light. So Louise taught that we're not broken people who need to be repaired. She taught us that we are whole beings who have simply forgotten the truth of who we are. And the truth, according to Louise and religious science, is always here. The truth is always here within you. The light. You're one with this light. Deep at the center of your being is this something, just waiting to be remembered. So this evening, let's have that in mind. We're returning to love and light. Let's know that there's something in you beneath the noise and the busyness, beneath the roles that you play, beneath even the healing journey. There's something within you that's never been hurt, never been lost, never been broken. And that something wants to be remembered. So that's what this chant touches. It's not about reincarnation or lifetimes past. It's about now. It's about that moment when your soul says, come home. And the lyric, return to where you were born and reborn again, doesn't have to mean a past life. It means you can be reborn right here, right now. You can be reborn right here, right now, in this breath, in this new moment. Reborn by choosing a new thought, by returning to your truth, to a time of innocence. You came into this world as an innocent baby full of life and possibility and wisdom. So we want to return to that place. Louise put it simply, you don't have to wait. You can start over today. You can choose a new thought right now. See, that's the essence of self-healing, not becoming something new, but coming back to what is already whole, by coming back to what you are. Religious science reminds us there's power for good in the universe greater than you, and you can definitely use it. But here's a deeper truth. You don't use it from a distance. You awaken. You awaken it from within. You're standing on holy ground. You have this power within you, so you want to awaken. Often this awakening begins with disruption. Maybe there's a crisis that happens, or a heartbreak, or a loss, and there's a reaching out, something that shakes you loose from the trance of your identity. And then after we go through something, there's a quiet voice within us that might say, this isn't who you really are. Come back. So we stand at a turning point sometimes, and we get to a point where our soul is reaching out. And that's where the return begins. Quietly, gently, through a breath, a moment, a thought, a remembrance, a truth remembered. One of the clearest teachings I've ever heard on this comes from a book that helped many over the years, and it was the Handbook to Higher Consciousness, which stated, you can choose to be happy in this moment, regardless of what's happening. You can master your consciousness by shifting the way you interpret experience. That book literally fell into my hands years ago, only to find it was part of my curriculum a year later. But that's an important passage. You can choose to be happy in this moment, regardless of what's happening. You have that power. You can master your consciousness by shifting the way you interpret anything, really. That's exactly what Louise Hay meant when she said, I change my thoughts and my life changes. Again, I change my thoughts and my life changes. So let me ask you, what if there's nothing wrong? What if you're not missing anything? What if you've just been facing the wrong direction? What if the way home isn't forward, but inward? So it's something to think about. I think a lot of us are looking outwardly when everything that we really need is inward. So what if the way home again isn't forward, but inward? This evening is about that sacred return to what you are and who you are. Not to something outside of you, but to who you really are, but to who you truly are. So let's sit again with that thought. You're not broken. You're not behind. You haven't missed your chance. You're just being called home. And I don't mean to a house or a childhood memory. I mean, you're called to something deeper, an awareness of something deeper. There is a place in you that's never been damaged, a place that doesn't care how long it's been or how far you have drifted. It's the part of you that's always known the truth that you are whole, that you are complete. There's a place in you that knows that you are love, that knows that you are enough. That's what we mean by return again. Return to that place, deep at the center of your being. We're not going backward. We're coming back to something timeless, something unshakable that's inside of us. The part of you that has always been real, before the fear, before the judgment, before the world taught you to doubt yourself. That place inside of you doesn't want performance. It wants you to slow down and be aware of its presence. It doesn't need you to prove anything. It just wants you to come home deep at the center of your being. That's why this teaching works so well, so deeply. It's not about fixing. It's about remembering. It's about looking past all the noise, the labels, the roles, everything that you do in your life, looking past all of that and seeing what's always been there. Your spirit, your light. It's always been there. Louise called it returning to innocence, not in a childish way, but in a very powerful sense, a powerful way. The kind of innocence that sees clearly, that forgives easily, that trusts again. The part of you that still knows how to love, the part of you that still knows how to love and hopes you haven't forgotten. And that's why our mirror work that we talk about matters. Because when you look into your image in the mirror, you look into your own eyes and say, I love you. I see you. I'm listening. You're not pretending. You're reconnecting with yourself. You're meeting yourself again, maybe for the first time in a while. You're not fixing. You're finding yourself. You're finding the person that you were before the wounds, before the anxiety, before you believed that you weren't enough. And here's the mystery of all of it. That part of you has never left you. It's still there. It's always been there. That's why this work can feel so emotional sometimes, because when you stop running, when you get quiet enough to actually feel, what comes through isn't shame, it's relief. It's that gentle inner voice that says, there you are. I've been waiting for you. And when that happens, even if it's just for a second or a moment, something stirs, something shifts. You start to breathe easier. The old story doesn't seem to hold you the same way. The judgment loosens, the fear softens, and something else rises in its place. A deeper voice, one that says to you, welcome back. So the wisdom has always been there. Some people remember it clearly, by the way. There's a few. Others only feel it as a longing or an ache, longing that never completely goes away. But most of us, if we're honest, can recall a time, maybe long ago, when we felt something different inside. It was a kind of wisdom, or we felt a connection, a joy that didn't have to be earned. I know as a child I remember that. Maybe you believed that you could do things nobody else could do at the time. Maybe you felt close to something bigger than you. Or maybe you just felt free before the world told you to be realistic, to be careful, or to be less. It doesn't matter how far back it was. That part of you, the wise part, the loving part, is still there in you. And you can still reach it. If you've ever looked in the mirror again and caught a glimpse in your own eyes, not the version of you that's critical, but just looked in your own eyes, the real you, you know what I'm getting at. Even again, if just for a second you saw a spark, a softness, or light, and you give yourself that thumbs up or I got you. That's the part that we want to return to tonight, or we want to consider. You don't need a great breakthrough. You don't need to earn anything. Just stop, take a breath, and be willing to notice, be willing to appreciate what's there, what's already there, because it is there. Louise always said, the power that created you has never left you. Again, the power that created you has never left you. That power is in your breath. It's in your willingness. It's in the moment you say, maybe I still have access to that part of me. Maybe I didn't lose it after all. Here's the quiet truth. You were wise once, and you still are. You were whole once, and you still are. If you felt free or loving or powerful, even for a moment, then that truth is still alive in you. So try this. Tonight or tomorrow, take a moment and look into your eyes. Just take a moment in the mirror. Look in your eyes, not to criticize, not to analyze, but to see, to notice you, to be willing to notice and to be willing to appreciate, even if it feels silly, even if it's just for a moment. Because if you stay long enough and soften enough, you might catch a glimpse of that younger self, the one that knew things before life got so noisy, the one who didn't doubt, the one who trusted, the one that loved freely and believed in magic. That part of you is not gone, and you don't have to get it all back today. You just have to be willing to remember. You see, that's the work that we do, remembering who we are and what we are. That's the return. So let's be honest. Sometimes we don't just forget who we are. We actively believe something else. We believe we've been wronged. This is being realistic. We're talking spiritually, but in our day-to-day living, sometimes we don't just forget who we are. We believe bad things have happened. We carry resentments. We hold on to old hurts like proof. We're convinced that what has been done to us or what we've done is unforgivable. And when that becomes the story, we completely lose sight of the power we carry. We have the power to name things. We have the power to shift direction. We have the power to heal. And we have the power to begin again. In those moments, you can remember the prodigal child story. You're heir to everything good, but you're living as though you're broke and broken. There's a feast that's prepared for us always. We're the heir to everything good, but we're surviving on breadcrumbs, not because we're unworthy, but because we've forgotten what we're made of. There was a time, whether you can name it or not, when we knew how magical life could be, when we trusted, when we played, when we believed. But piece by piece, we gave that knowing away. We traded it oftentimes for safety. We gave it up in order to be accepted. We forgot, and then forgot that we forgot. And in its place, we became critical. We criticize ourselves. We criticize others. We carry very strong opinions. We use lots of shoulds. We cling to our judgments. But as Louise reminded us again and again, criticism never changes anything. And she didn't just mean towards others. She meant the voice inside of you, the one that keeps saying, you're not enough, you don't do enough, you've messed up, it's too late. Louise said, I love the world the way it is. There's nothing I need to change. And she also went on to say, self-acceptance or self-approval and self-acceptance are the keys to all positive change. This isn't fluff. This is spiritual truth. Because when you stop making yourself wrong, and when you stop needing other people to be wrong, you return to peace. You return to power. Religious science teaches us that everything is unfolding in divine order. Not because life is easy, but because life is intelligent. There is a wisdom in the way things unfold, even when we don't understand it or perhaps not like it. And the mystics that we talk of, that we study, they knew this also. They didn't panic in chaos. They didn't shrink in fear. They remembered all is well. They could see the divine in everything, every encounter being a holy encounter. So the mystics didn't shrink or panic in chaos. They remembered all is well, even when the outer world looked like a mess. Louise said to us, I trust the process of life. All is well. So that's not being in denial about what's going on. That's a person who's in deep spiritual alignment. So you don't need to chase new methods. You don't need to follow new trends. You don't need to seek approval from the crowd, because the power you're looking for, it's not in the crowd. It's not in the trends. The power you're looking for is in you. It's always been in you. You simply have to turn inward, to take that pause, to go within, to recognize the no, let yourself feel it and sense it. Deep at the center of your being, the truth is still very much alive. The wisdom is still intact. And reclaiming it doesn't require a dramatic gesture. Often it starts in the quietest way. Maybe it's a pause, a breath, a whisper. It can be as simple as saying, I know you're still there. I affirm I know that I'm one with the one. Or saying, I'm willing to see myself differently. I choose to believe that healing is possible. When you start to say these affirmations, that's when things begin to shift. That's when the return becomes real. Because once you're willing, life meets you, spirit meets you, and the healing begins. Not out there, but right here in you. So this work, the work that we do, is not just about having a powerful moment. It's about living from a deeper place. It's learning how to, it's all about developing a positive expectancy, living from a deeper place. It's about learning how to walk differently, think differently, respond differently, because something in you has been reawakened. And the truth is, this return isn't just one big event. It's a daily call, it's a daily invitation to come back, to get connected, to come back, to notice, to choose again. One moment you might feel totally connected. The next moment something triggers you, and the voice of fear shows up. The old pattern returns, and you wonder, did I lose it again? But that's the beauty of our path, of this teaching. We're practitioners, we practice. You can return 1,000 times, and every time you do, it gets easier and easier. Not because life gets easier, but because you're getting steadier, you're getting stronger. You're not living from reaction anymore. You're responding from this awareness. Louise used to say, the point of power is always in the present moment. And this means your healing doesn't come from the past. It doesn't come from waiting on the perfect time either. It comes from right now. This moment is your access point. This moment is your doorway. This moment is where your power lives. So when life feels hard, return. When you forget who you are, return. When your old story shows up again, return. Get centered. You don't have to collapse. You don't have to shame yourself. You simply need to pause, get yourself centered, and come back. Come back to your breath. Come back to the truth that you're supplied and supported and connected always. Come back to the part of you that remembers. The part of you that remembers, I'm not the fear. I'm not the past. I'm not what happened to me. I am the one who gets to choose again. So come back to that place where you can say, I am the one who gets to choose again, because you do. And that's where your power is. It's not in being perfect. Your power is in remembering. It's not in having all the answers, but by being willing. It's not in never failing. Your power is in returning and returning to who you are and what you are. So let's take this time together and move into a simple, gentle process together. Wherever you are, I invite you to be still, to get still, be relaxed. Let your body be completely relaxed. Place your feet on the ground where you feel supported. Let your hands rest loosely by your sides. Allow your eyes to softly close if you'd like. Take a deep breath through your nose and slowly let it out through your mouth. Again, breathe in. Exhale slowly, fully. Let your body begin to release. Let your shoulders drop. Let your stomach soften. Let the tension drain out. And as your body settles, allow your awareness to drift inward, beneath the surface of the day, beneath your thoughts, beneath the roles you play. Drop into the stillness that's always been there, that quiet and sacred place at the center of your being. And from this place, this stillness, I want you to imagine someone is approaching you. It's you. You notice it's a younger you. It's the you who still believed. It's the you that still trusted. The person who approached you is the you who hadn't yet learned to be afraid. They might still be a small child, or they might be just a feeling or a presence you sense. Let them get closer. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to explain anything. Just let them be seen. Let them know you remember. And from your heart, speak to them with your inner voice and let them know, I see you. Let them know I haven't forgotten you and that I'm so glad you're here. As you hold this connection, as you let yourself feel it, repeat these words either silently or loud and let them be true for you, even if only a little. Affirm, I remember who I am. I am willing to return to the truth of me. I'm safe to love myself again. The power I need is already within me. The part of me that I thought was gone is still here. Again, the part of me that I thought was gone is still here. I forgive myself for forgetting. I choose to treat myself with kindness. I trust in the process of life. I release the need to criticize myself or others. Again, I released the need to criticize myself or others. I am coming home to my center. I'm coming home to my center. So let the words settle. There's nothing to force. Just allow. Feel the truth of them or the possibility of the truth. Even that is helpful. Even that is enough. Take another breath in and gently release. If you can, bring your hands to your chest, to your heart. Notice the warmth. Notice the presence of you here, now. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back into the gathering. Wiggle your fingers, move your toes, and gently open your eyes. You have returned, and the return has begun. So let's take a moment now to seal in this sacred moment together with a closing prayer, a spoken word of truth. If it feels right, again, you can close your eyes one more time. Let your hands be on your heart. And let this be your own inner agreement. Your agreement with you, with our prayer. There is one power, one presence, one infinite creative source that flows through all life. It is intelligence. It is the intelligence that beats in every heart, the intelligence that opens every flower and breathes through me now. Because this source is all there is, I know that it is also what I am. I'm not separate from it. I am made of it. It is the very life within me, the truth of my being. And now I align with it fully. I remember who I am. I'm not my fear. I'm not my story. I'm not what happened to me. I am the one who chooses. I am the one who heals. I am the one who returns. I return now to the center of my being, to that place of wisdom, power, and love. I return to the truth that has always lived in me. I return to the wholeness that was never lost. I no longer need to chase approval. I no longer need to fix myself to be worthy. I no longer need to carry the past like a burden. I release the old story. I release all the stories. I return to peace. I return to presence, the awareness of this activity. I return to myself right here with this breath. I choose again. I speak kindly to myself. I support myself with loving thoughts. I'm willing to see myself through the eyes of truth. And I know deeply and fully that the power that created me has never left me. It moves through me. It breathes through me. It lives in me now. And I say yes to that. Yes to healing. Yes to remembering. Yes to the quiet, sacred return. I bless this unfolding journey. I trust the process of life. And I know all is well. And so I release this word into the law, into the loving intelligence that receives and responds, and I let it be. And so it is. So let's all take a deep breath, slowly come back. And now we move into our Zoom sharing space. I invite you to stay open in heart, open in mind. Something may have stirred in you this evening. I hope so. Something real, something tender, something worth commenting upon. This is your space. This is your community. And we'd love to hear what came up for you. If you're new, welcome. We especially want to welcome you. Please say hello where you're from. Keep coming back. Your presence really matters here. So let's turn the cameras now over to you all. Thank you again for being here. And thanks for sharing this moment together.